I'm gonna live on coffee. We packed too light, Brad. Yeah, we should have brought more food, but we felt like this bear was gonna be right here. We'd be able to take him and get him out of here, but he's not. He's gonna make it hard on us, so we're just gonna shed a few pounds probably over the next couple days. But I do have coffee. Problem is, I'm gonna have to go down into this cut to get water. But, oh well. We could all stand to lose a few pounds, right? Now we gotta, once we shoot this bear, we'll have plenty of food. He's just gotta come out and show himself right here in our little kill box. And if that happens, I mean, heck, if that wolf comes out, we'll be eating wolf tonight. But something. I can't imagine this spot's gonna go empty all day. We got elk for bait for wolves, and this nice little green spot. The bears always seem to really like it. They seem to be in there a lot. Except for when we're sitting right here close to it, apparently. But the wind is good. They're not getting our wind. The elk have been all over it. They're not getting our wind. It's just bad luck so far.
Hopefully something happens today. We are eating very light. We're gonna try and stretch our food today and possibly tomorrow. So I had a perfect bar for breakfast. Slow day. Brian and Mark have not seen a dang thing. Ryan and myself have not seen a dang thing. We have not seen any wolves. The elk are just chilling. There was one time a cow barked, and two of them went up on alert, and they were looking, up the mountain, but 10 minutes later they were bedded, feeding, licking each other. I mean, that one cow was licking the other one for like 30 minutes. But yeah, nothing yet today.
It's 7 o'clock. We've been sitting here all day and just looking at elk. Our bear has not come back like we thought he would. No wolf today. And we're very limited on food and water. So we're, I'm pretty surprised that bear didn't come back, because we got a really nice kill box here. But the boys, they haven't seen anything all day long. It's crazy because it was a hot day. It was felt like it was 70 degrees and everything got greener. But I know every stump and every elk and tree and black spot and rock on this mountain right now. And no bear has wandered into it. So we're going to crash here again tonight, see what happens tomorrow. We're both pretty surprised that bear didn't show back up. especially because there was 2 bears that were here in this area, 2 chocolates, and nothing. So don't know if that bear just up and walked over the other mountain. Bears just do weird stuff sometimes, but we really banked on this thing showing back up here, and he just didn't. So yeah, it'll see what happens tomorrow, I guess, but see how long we can hold out without eating any food. Yeah, that's a lot of sitting today, just watching. So fingers crossed tomorrow it happens. We'll see. Breakfast is coffee. That's it.
What's for lunch?
Lunch is E-charge. Hot E-charge. And yeah, we don't have much. We're skimping. This bear's got to come out today. I hear it's supposed to be 80 degrees though, so I don't know. We'll see. We might see him for a short while, but man, he's just not coming out. None of them are. We didn't even see a bear yesterday. Nobody saw a bear yesterday, which is nuts. That just usually doesn't happen, but I don't know. We're in a great spot. We're hungry. We gotta find a bear today. That's all there is to it. If we want to eat, we need to shoot a bear today. So I guess we're not eating until we do. Update to the day. The day has been dead. It's ghostly up here, except for some elk. It feels like it's 80 degrees out here, but I don't know what it is. I think tomorrow's supposed to be hotter. And we got 2 problems now. Not only have we been out of food, but now we have a river that's rising quickly, and we got to get across it to get out of here. There's no other way around it. So we've got a swollen river that we're going to try to cross tomorrow morning when it should be at its lowest. The problem is the nights haven't been cold either. They've been warm. So we're going to glass this, and fingers crossed bear shows up tonight, and then zip down first thing in the morning early, try to get across this river without dying, and we can look down there just with our binos and see it's ripping. It wasn't ripping when we came across it, but this heat has just got it swollen. So first thing we got to do is get this bear to come back out and show himself. Problem is we haven't seen a bear in 2 days. The boys haven't seen a bear in 2 days. No idea why or what happened, but something changed. They're just not out seeing all the elk. But so that's our plan, is stick it out tonight, and we have, I don't know, we should probably hop on the scale when we get back and see how light we're going to be, because we're going to shed some pounds on this trip for sure, because yeah, we're starving. But hopefully the river crossing isn't as bad as I think it's going to be. We'll see.
We've been out here for 12 days already. We have 1 bear down, and the others that we were watching have disappeared. We have no idea. We have not been able to relocate them. It's a weird year. Really weird year. Yep. Tonight I'm gonna have a Mountain Ops protein bar, cheese for dinner, and that is all the food I have. Like, it's gone. We've been living on E-charge and bone broth today. I haven't had any bone broth. I'm gonna have that tonight with my dinner, if you call it dinner. But I've had a few bottles of E-charge, and that's what's keeping us going today.
It was a tough day. We're kind of just like, we have no idea what's going on up here. It's just been tough. No bears seen today at all, not one. We went from seeing bears daily, a lot of young, smaller bears, to seeing 3 came up here in this spot, and now we haven't been able to pick up a bear. Brian and Mark haven't either. So I feel like we killed a couple of wolves. We killed a mountain lion. We must have used up all our luck or something, because we have not seen any bears. But now the plan is we're just gonna crash right here, get up early, zip down this thing, and see if we can't get across the river. That's number one. We got to get across this river. So we'll keep glassing as much as we can, but yeah, another slow day. It's been tough, but gonna get some sleep. Fortunately, we got plenty of water. No food, just plenty of water. So at least we're hydrated. But sleeping out under the stars again tonight. It's no clouds. It looks like it's going to be another hot one, even hotter tomorrow than it was today. And it was, I don't know, it felt like it was 80 today, so it's going to be a cooker. But all right, fingers crossed we get across that river tomorrow. Well, bear never showed up. Bear's not showing up this morning early. He's probably sleeping in. We have no idea where these bears went, but we're gonna take the long descend down and see what our river looks like. It looks like it's pretty swollen. It's not chocolate milk yet, so that's good, but yeah, it didn't work out up here. Yeah, pretty disappointing. We thought for sure this spot where we parked it for so many days was gonna produce this big chocolate that was just sitting on this knob. He sat there for 2 nights in the morning that we decided to come up here, and he disappeared about 15 minutes before we got here, and he hasn't come back. So it's just tough country. It's really steep. It's hard to move. So we were kind of perched on this spot, but he didn't show up. So it feels like a fail. We're gonna go down, cross the river, get up the other side, meet up with the boys, and see what's next.
All right, well, we made it to the bottom, and like we thought, our river is just swollen compared to when we got across the first time. So we got down to our rafts, our little baby rafts, hiked them down river a little bit, did a little scouting to try to figure out where we could cross. This canyon doesn't really give you a whole lot of options. Everything is whitewater. There's a log jam up here, so it was going to be pretty nasty up above us where we came over. So we decided to come down here, and this ain't much better, but our fall line isn't quite so death-like, I don't think. So we're gonna pull our boats right into here, try to zip, make it past that rock. We're gonna get wet. Water comes over these boats. This kind of water comes over these boats. And try to hit that cove over there. And the goal, me and Brad have decided that it's not our day to die. And this is not the place we want to do it. So we're going to get these things blown up, everything's going inside the boats on this one, so we're more nimble and hope for the best. First thing I'm going for an OD on CBD immune support gummies. Those taste good. We got back to our food. Just made it off that hill, up this hill, back to our base camp here, where we got all our food. So now gotta make a game plan. Gotta decide if I'm staying in here. But Brad and I are gonna eat. We earned this meal.
See, I don't know what everybody complains about. They say Ryan never shares, but he shares with me all the time. So I must just be more liked than the other people.
The only guy who says that is Mark. And you can't believe a word Mark says. That's just how it is. He just makes stuff up.
Got sweet potato bites, which taste just like candy. Those hit the spot. You know what else is gonna be good? Pretzels. That salt is gonna taste delicious. We're gonna chow down and then figure out what we're gonna do. We've been up on this ridge all day. We've been glassing north to south. Right now we're kind of taking a little break. We're looking straight into the setting sun.
That looks pretty good.
I'm kind of laying these out because it looks pretty like that, but mostly so I can see if any kind of bugs crawl out of them. I'm not a big fan of eating bugs.
Just barely hot.
Smells good. It legit smells like meat. A little bit of this goes a long way. Man, those are... We might have to postpone the bear hunt. Man. I haven't had any for like 2 years. I didn't find any last year. I didn't really look. Man, those are good. Well, we've been on this ridge for a couple days and we finally started seeing a couple bears to our south, and we saw a sow with a cub last night, and then this morning we saw pretty nice black up pretty high. So we're gonna have to commit to, we're gonna go back down, reback our camp ultralight, just try to stay with tarps, I think. Take as much water as we can. We got 2 hot days. We're not gonna have any water up there. And we're gonna make our way up, try to get just below where we saw the bear and kind of hang out on this ridge. And it gives us another view to another big basin with a bunch of south facing. It's pretty thick over there, so we feel like from here we're about 2,500 yards. We just can't look into it like we can if we get a little bit closer. So we're gonna go up this big ridge, spike out on this ridge for a couple of days, and see if we can get it done up there, and hopefully get our eyes on some new country that we haven't seen, that we can't quite see from where we're at. So it'll be an adventure.
This is the first time I've ever cooked morel mushrooms. It's actually the first time I've ever found some. I'm a big mushroom hunter. I like going out and foraging for mushrooms, but most of the places I've been, or that I've gone mushroom hunting, you kind of got to go to BFE or live in like someplace like Missouri. Places where there's a lot of water. Morels are weird mushrooms, man. They're one of the only mushrooms that are not commercially farmed because they don't know how to make the spores grow. Most mushrooms that we've kind of figured it out, temperature, humidity, and it just happens. Morels, they don't know. They do know though you can catch them like after a big burn or something, or a year or two after a big fire.
Campfire morels.
Yes. But
I think
again,
aren't these fire morels?
I believe so. You know what's crazy is I found 3 more of these as we were hiking up, like just around the corner. And these are way up the hill too. Always wash your foods, kid.
I mean, toss that one.
I mean,
What is it you see in there?
it's just a worm. 'Twas in here.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah, but if you didn't know, it's just extra protein. Remember, like, that's why they used to eat their food at night on the Mayflower? Remember that? Remember hearing that old wives' tale?
That's gritty. A little too gritty for me, maybe. I'm not going to look at these mushrooms too closely. If I ate a worm, I ate a worm.
Well, Mark and I have left camp, got our gear, we had enough food for 3 days. We're actually about 800 yards from where we saw that sow and cub yesterday. We're gonna blow past them up this ridge, see if we can get up here closer to where we saw that black bear this morning. Looked like a nice bear. We're just gonna cover some new country. So it's crazy down here by the river. It's all green and like a forest. Then you clear the timber line and it's just kind of open burn and grass, and it's pretty cool. That is a game plan. It's a genius plan. It's genius. I said, we gotta move while the bears are laying low because it's too hot. The ultimate predator is gonna strike while they're resting. No rest for the warrior. No rest for the predator. No rest for the killer.
No unsuspecting bear would think we would make the salt in the middle of the day, so we'll be ready when he comes out tonight. So the next problem we got is once we do make this freaking god-awful climb, then the bear's living in a cliff. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Holy crap. It's a monster mountain. That old man is kicking ass. Climbing right up this thing. This balsam root, wherever that stuff kind of pops out of the ground, it seems the bears really love those slopes. That flower, when it's popping in the spring and it's on a hill like this is usually when we get into bears. This is the same little pocket that sow cup was in, right here. We're in the right spot. It's a grinder. It's a slow, steady climb. Foot by foot.
We're almost to the junction of these two ridges. We've climbed up about just over 1,000 feet. We got about 200, 250, 300 to get to this junction. And then we'll decide what we got to do from there. We might be able to see pretty well from there. But we're starting to get up here in the thin air. So we climbed our butts all the way up here, and we're sitting up here looking for bears. But they're being elusive tonight. It looks great. Lots of broken spots, lots of rocky outcroppings. So it's got all the bear ingredients, but we just can't turn one up yet. So we're cowboy camping up here on this ridge. We're kind of looking around. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain, which is pretty much a guarantee it's gonna rain. But we're gonna camp out under the stars, and we're gonna get up crack of dawn. We're gonna find us a big old jet black, and we're gonna make a move, and we're gonna get this done. But it's been a challenge so far. We've seen a couple of bears, but they're in really difficult spots. So
Yeah, I mean, the bear we made this climb for was right on those rocks this morning, which is 700 yards from this perch. And a little far, but we can walk around the rim, get over him. But we're not going to move anywhere else until we put eyes on him. It's so hot that even right now when the sun has gone down, there's like this residual heat in the air. I think they're just miserable with this heat. It's too much fur, even when the sun goes down when it's like this. But in the morning, it's been getting light like at 4:50, 4:45. I mean, light early. And then we've been catching them moving like 6 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m. and till about 9. So, and other than that, they've been on lockdown. So, hopefully we find a bear over here tomorrow, motoring around in the morning. That's the hope. But it's beautiful. We made a big monster climb to get up here. But it's worth it. I mean, the view's nice. We know there's a bear close to shooting range. There could be another one right up here. We don't know.
a little crispier tonight.
Well, it's
It's time to see if we can find a bear. Now's the magic hour. The sun is just popping up. This was nice. I slept like a rock. I was out. It did rain a little bit, but not enough to get me real wet. It should dry out real quick. The sun, but it's a little bit damp. We barely popped out of our sleeping bags, and I threw up the glass and spotted a chocolate bear on this cliff. We're watching him right now. He looks good. Not a huge bear, like a medium maybe, but don't see any cubs or anything with it. Could be deceptive, but he doesn't have that giant bear look at all. But still, a bear we'd probably take if we could get within range. It's close, but that's not far from where we saw that big black one yesterday. Same rocks, same cliff face. He was eating the same cliffs. Same spot when I first spotted him at 6 a.m. It's 5:30 right now. And that other black one kind of moved up the mountain and wrapped the corner. There's got to be water flowing right there, or those bears wouldn't be this high up in there, I don't think. But that's two bears, basically the same rocks. 2 mornings in a row. Definitely something about it they like. That's 2 bears in the same spot. The other bear's bigger. Mark's got set up, and looks like we're gonna probably try to shoot this bear. Hard to find.
that tree trunk was when we first saw him? See that black tree trunk?
I see the black bottom of the tree.
Yeah. Down to the right. Yeah.
Okay, I see him now. Now he's out of my view. Now I can see him.
You see him in that green patch?
Yeah, I can see him.
Your range is good.
He's freaking. He just ain't open enough.
How you feeling?
Okay. He's standing pretty good right now.
What?
He's standing pretty good right
He's
now.
pretty good.
Huh?
Take it.
Oh shit, he just moved a little. Oh shit, I lost him again. Dadgummit.
What's that?
Every time I move this pad. Okay.
Take him when you're ready. Take him when you're ready.
What?
Take him if you want.
I'll tell you when I'm ready. Okay. I want him to turn right side.
You're good. You're not level. Still not level.
It's real slow.
That's good. He's moving again. He's all sketchy.
Do you see him again? I saw him go into that cut. But
Straight down.
see him.
Oh, I think I see him. He's in the brush, though. I still got him, but he's in the brush.
Yeah, he's in the brush. I can see him though. A little more toward you. There you go.
Okay, I'm on him.
That yardage is good. I just...
Okay, you on him?
Yeah, we're on it. He's climbing that hill to the right.
I'm trying to get the dust. I lost him.
Dang it.
I don't think he hit him. Freaking that dust. At first I thought you hit him. Well, we got set up on this bear this morning. He was out early, freaking 5:30. He was moving around a lot. We finally got on him. Got in a nice open bench. We got on him. We set up. Great setup. But I don't think he really knows what was going on. Maybe he'll pop back out a little later once he calms down. But, dang.
All right. New plan. Mark and I are gonna climb to the top of this ridge we're on, and it's a big circle. We're gonna run the rim and get on the ridge adjacent to the ridge that bear was on this morning. Same cliff face, that same cliffs that that big black was on the day before. So our hunch is there's quite a bit of water flowing right there up high. And with this heat, this time of year, it's just been kind of one of those things where those black bears, they like those high mountain runoffs. And it looks like that's exactly what we have in that little cut. So if we can get on the ridge adjacent to it, I think we'll have a 300-yard shot to that ridge. So our only hope is that that black bear, the big black one, resurfaces, or that chocolate cinnamon comes back, or another bear altogether. We'll take whatever we can get, but it's a 2-mile hike around this rim. It's not bad. I mean, once we get to the top, which we're almost there, you know, you're kind of running the ridge, which is nice. So it's just another thing to explore too. We've never been there, and man, I just got to see what this rim trail looks like and what we might see off of each side. Who knows? That's what it's all about. Half the fun with the spot and stalk mountain bear hunting is the logistics part of it. Seeing if you can get yourself from one area, mountains over, to another area. See how many days it takes. It's kind of part of the adventure. Well, Mark and I have hiked a couple of miles around the rim of this canyon, and we passed above the area where we saw that cinnamon this morning. Walked right past it, kept walking down the ridge line, and now we're one ridge adjacent from where he was. We're gonna creep down that ridge and see if we get lucky, if we can see from that ridge to the other one. We have bets going. It could be completely blocked by trees, but then again, it could be golden. And then hopefully the black one or the cinnamon pops back out somewhere we can get a shot, nice close shot. But right now it's all a big fat gamble.
When you're 57, you gotta get after it and you gotta stay after it. So Brian's not letting any grass grow under my feet, that's for sure. I keep saying, man, this spot looks good. Man, this spot looks good. Hey, this spot looks good. He's got tunnel vision, man. He's like, the darkest, deepest, nastiest hellholes where we gotta go. We walked by fresh bear poop. We walked by great views to get to this precipice that we're getting ready to go off. So we'll see. We know there's, well, unless we scared the bejesus out of that bear, but we know there's a nice black bear in there somewhere. But once we got over here, the problem is the trees are a lot more open than they looked over there, which is nice, but a lot of grass in the trees. So there could be even more bears here that we're not seeing. So it's starting to cool off. I feel like there's rain. On top of that, there's some rain coming too, which is, if it rains, I hope it just freaking pours, because we need some water.
Don't fall.
The places we go for these bears. I mean, your brother's down there in Kansas, and I'm up here in the Alps. I thought where we were hunting before was steep until we came over here, but it does look good in here.
This all looks great. All looks like there's nice green up right there.
Well, Mark and I put up a couple shelters. Storm came, as you can tell. It's gonna hold up here for a while. Hopefully it passes and then we can get out and blast again.
Well, the rain just let up for a sec. I used some gallon Ziplocs to capture almost a full Nalgene bottle, full liter of water. So that was nice, because we're low, we're out of water. So it was a pretty heavy storm. I just grabbed a gallon Ziploc that I used for my lunches, put it on each corner of the tent where the runoff was hitting. Almost got a full bottle. It's a lot of rain in just like 10 minutes, but
Collecting water.
Me too. I got a whole Nalgene.
I did too. I got one.
How'd you get it?
Right here. My spigot.
Nice.
How'd you get yours?
I grabbed 3 gallon Ziplocs and stuck them on each corner. I would have had more, but one of them had a hole in the corner.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so I took a big old drink in celebration.
nothing. These mountains do not want to give up their treasures.
They're holding on tight to those precious bears right now. You know, it's one of the reasons there's a lot of bears here. There's a lot of cover, a lot of brush, a lot of draws, which is great for the bears but hard for the hunters. So there could be 10 bears down there below us, and the timber is just sparse enough. There's a lot of grass in the timber, so you just gotta just be patient. But I really thought we'd see something this morning, but so far, nothing. We'll have to figure out a new strategy. I think we got some weather today. We're supposed to have some weather. It looks a little funky right now. I'm not sure what's going on. It's kind of half foggy, half sunny. Looks like it's raining down there a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. And we still got a lot of days left, so just gotta keep sharp, stay in the game, don't get depressed. Just stay after it. Oh man.
Yeah.
I thought for sure we'd see something today.
When it gets like this, it's easy to get down, but I think doing it as much as I have, I just, I know it's a matter of time. Days. You give yourself enough days and you put yourself in the right place. Usually something remarkable happens. Bear steps out at the perfect spot and everything comes together. But in between those moments, it's a mental grind.
Mental juggle.
I don't think people, guys that haven't done it very much or done it very long, or I don't think they realize how much time we spend glassing. I mean, it's just like anytime I don't have my glass up and I'm not scanning every pocket, I feel like I'm missing my moment. And even with that much diligence and that continued glassing, like constant, we'll pick up a bear one day in an opening and it'll walk through and disappear. And it was just that one moment where we saw it go into a little pocket and we're like, oh, there's a bear there. And it might be the only bear we see in 3 days or 4 days. And then we go over there and we kill it. And I just don't think a lot of folks realize how glassing intense the activity is, and then the ability to actually close the distance. This particular hunt is probably one of the harder spring bear areas we hunt because it's so thick, like Mark was saying. We're on this ridge and we're looking over at where we saw those bears and those cliffs yesterday, and you can barely, there's so much timber blocking our view. In other areas without the timber, the whole thing is laid bare. The tallest tree is 8 feet, and everywhere you look you can see. So looks like we're getting a little rain, Mark.
Yeah, look, there's a
Rainbow. Well, as you can see, all packed up. Got everything loaded on the back. Kicked out this bed with that little Petzl ride. It works really well. It's 6 or 8 ounces, I think. It's so light I can't even leave it at camp anymore or leave it at home. It just is, it's like a little excavator. It's amazing. Cuts little beds out. It's on these steep slopes. You can get a good night's rest. It takes a few minutes.
I think these little excursions, I don't get to do these much because I'm usually the llama sitter, so it's kind of nice to get to do one. But yeah, they're kind of revigorating. Yeah, and I slept great. The only thing was the water situation was a little. I would have liked to have drank more water than I drank.
Well, you can see how getting off the path though and just back in here, things can happen. Just didn't for us. It was close, but just not close enough. But we still have our hike down the mountain here, which is sketchy as all get out, because it pretty much looks a lot like this, but steeper in spots. We don't even know if we won't be cliffed out.
It doesn't. Brian doesn't like that. He doesn't really always believe contour lines. Like, it's probably not as bad as it looks.
Look, if you have to use hands and feet and scale down a rock face, I'm down. As long as the fall's not more than 30 feet. I figure...
I'm not worried about the initial fall. I'm worried about the fall there and then the progressive fall from there.
Anyway, we're gonna start making our way
So
down.
You're going without your micro spikes on. You're gonna just risk it.
Oh, it's wet.
I'm going with him.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna put them on real quick.
So Brian, I convinced him to put on his micro spikes. So,
You know what's funny?
I wasn't really using these until this hunt. I've always kind of thought about them, snow. I brought them on this hunt because I thought we might be at the snow line on the first hunt a couple weeks ago, and then I found the benefit of them on dry ground. They're just much more nimble than I thought. The only complaint, these Catulas are the best there is as far as the grip, but they're certainly not durable. So in less than 1 year, I'm now on my third pair, and I just had to tie mine up. The rubber, the sticks and stuff go up the side. They can rip. Mine always rip right there on the heel, right there.
What's funny about that is I've had these since New Zealand, and I've worn the hell out of them.
Just not, you don't go places I go.
I'm just less clumsy than Mark, and so I deftly place my foot away from
You seriously
stuff.
have had those since New Zealand?
Since New Zealand, yeah. It's going to be nasty going down, but then once we get to the bottom, it cliffs out straight off the end. But my theory is if we break left, the contour lines look workable.
They don't touch.
and it looks open on the satellite imagery. So
That's better too. Nothing to hold on to.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, a woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn. Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old boys can't do. We grow good old tomatoes and homemade wine, and the country boy can survive.
All right, don't fall, Mark. These are the vertical. These are the topo lines he was worried about. No problem. Piece of cake. There's always a little slot. It looks like a cliff on the map, but is it really a cliff? Whoa. Whoa. That would not be good. That would have not been good. I'd have just filmed him slide all the way to the bottom.
Can we do it from here?
this looks like a cliff, but it's not really a cliff. Let me just look. This, I like this shoot the most, but I couldn't figure out how to get to it. Yeah, we'll make it.
He used to send me pictures of the Broadway nights, and I'd send him some homemade wine.
Yeah, that little corner was a little tight, and I went down on my back, and my pack caught and pushed me a little forward.
When you turn backwards, you kind of get, whoa.
Yeah.
You pack it. You got to watch your weight of your pack at fulcrum weight. It can pull you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't recommend this for everyone, but Mark, part of the reason I love these trips is because they're dangerous.
Yeah.
And so people are like, you shouldn't do that. It's not safe. It's like, it's calculated risk.
Yeah.
And for me, it's part of what makes life exciting.
What's it Jordan Beard say? You should do things dangerous safely.
Yeah, exactly.
Let your kids
That's right. So, yeah, we're home
We're
free.
from North California and South Alabama and little towns all around this land. We can skin a buck and run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Country boy can survive. Country folks can survive.
Boom. Oh, that trail feels good.
Well, folks. Hope you enjoyed this 2-part series of us epically failing.
Yeah.
Which is what this hunt felt like. I told you guys before that I was going to put out some shows where it didn't pan out, and we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about it. If you're interested, stay tuned. In the meantime, before you go, we do have a huge giveaway going on right now. You can win a $3,800 item. All you got to do is shop at the Gritty store. We can't tell you what the item is because YouTube will block our film.
I guess it's more like
and our
this.
content and stuff. Brad, don't get us in trouble here. But if you want to find out more about that $3,800 item, go to our Rumble page and watch the video where we detail the giveaway that's going on.
Yep.
But to be entered to win, all you got to do is buy like this new Gritty shirt. This is the Jeep one. We got a few other designs over there. Some of the old school stuff. We got lots of new colors and designs, some camo patterns and stuff. But if you go over to the Gritty store, shop, you'll be entered to win, and it helps us out. And we have a giveaway that ends tonight at midnight. All you got to do is go shop at Initial Ascent. And tonight's giveaway, that's for a $4,000 hunt package.
Yeah.
Get in over there. They got water bottles, air pads,
Kit
sacks. You don't have to just buy a backpack. There's lots of accessories and hunt gear over there at Initial Ascent. Those guys are awesome. And if you use the code GRITTY over there, you will save and you'll be entered to win. And that ends tonight. You got till midnight tonight. So if you want to support us and you're interested in some of that, check it out. This is the gear season. So if you are in need of hunting equipment, don't buy it at the big box shops like Cabela's and Sportsman's and so on. REI. Go over there and support our fellas over at Go Hunt. Shop at their gear shop. And when you use the code GRITTY over there, that helps us out as well. So, Brad, I want to talk about Starvation Ridge, Starvation River, and this experience I had with Brent. My brother was there for the later half of the hunt.
Yeah.
Guys, this was just a tough season. And Brad and I think there's a few takeaways here.
Mm-hmm.
One is you can go without food for quite a few days. I went 3 days with 0 calories consumed, pretty much, except for Pedialyte, which had some sugar.
And we've done that in the past. Like there are certain hunts that you ran out of food and we have 2 days to hike out.
Yeah.
And so you hike out with 2 days. Now, granted, Ryan and I we weren't burning a lot of calories up on Starvation Ridge, but it still sucks. Like,
I nicknamed it Starvation Ridge because Mark and I were on the other side of the river and we were glassing back. And I watched that bear disappear into the tree line about 20 minutes before Ryan and Brad crested the hill and got the rifle ready. And it was just depressing because those bears had been out for 2 full days.
Yeah.
And the skin-faced, the bald-faced bear, which was actually my favorite, and the other bear was probably bigger for sure. But both bears were awesome, unique, chocolate, big bears. Ryan had kept eyes on him for a couple of days before he committed. And we will do that. And sometimes you rush across and get to the other side, for a close shot. These bears were pretty high on the ridge.
Yeah.
A little too high up the mountain to be shooting across the river at them. But that bear disappeared literally, 20 minutes. That's all it was. 20 minutes earlier. If they had just got to that peak, they'd have had a 225-yard shot at that bear.
250.
Wondering why the bear left. That's what bears do. They didn't get they didn't smell. The bear didn't smell them. He didn't spook. He got up. He wallowed. He was a little muddy, and then he just kind of meandered through some trees and went over. And I was watching him as they climbed, and I'm like, no way, no way. He just spent 2 full days there on that whole face. It's green. Where's he going?
Yeah.
And he just went up and into the trees. And the elk were meandering around the whole time, never spooked, never moved. And there was a wolf running through the group again at 250 yards from Ryan and Brad while they were actually looking, and they didn't see the wolf.
We did not see it. Don't know how, but we did not see that sucker.
So anyway, the bear situation went like this. Our takeaway from this season, and you might experience this yourself. You go into an area and you think, this area is no good.
Yep.
This is what I saw. It was a bad area. We know for a fact this is not a bad area. It was bad weather.
Yep.
We went from cold and snow and really chilly weather we're burning logs and we're trying to stay warm to
over 80 degrees.
86 degrees.
Correct.
It went like that, and the snow melted and that river just swelled up and went nuts. And those bears, it was like as soon as the next day, the day you guys went up there,
yep,
it was 86 degrees that day.
Which was the very first hot day.
First hot day.
Yep.
It went from like 50s to 86.
Yep.
And then it just stuck for a month. It never stopped.
Never cooled down at night, really.
It was miserable at night. We were sweating at night. So I believe that the real issue was the bears it was too hot, and they just really didn't move much during those daylight hours. And the few times we did see bears, it was at the break of dawn. You had about an hour, and then they were gone. And then good luck seeing them again.
And as that heat came too, then you get so much more foliage and the shrubs and everything just starts to grow. So then it makes it harder too to see into that stuff.
There can be a bear right in front of you, but you wouldn't know it.
Yep.
It's too thick. So that's one of the reasons we often promote or say we would prefer to go earlier in the season than later. Earlier always seems to serve us better. I went back 7 days after you guys left.
Yep, correct.
And I went back in with Mark and Gritty Broman. We went in there, and the three of us hunted for another about 10 days, and then you showed up for another 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, I think you were in there about 8 days, and then I went in there with Mark and Brent for another 7 days.
7? Was it 7?
Yep.
Look, that hunt was miserable. You didn't see a single bear.
No. Nope.
And Mark and I saw two boars and one sow and a cub in an 8 day window.
Yeah.
Total, I want to say we were in there 26 or 28 days.
Yeah, right close to 20. Had to have been 26.
The group of us.
Mm-hmm. Total.
And the day you guys crossed the river was the last day the bear hunting was any good.
Correct.
And prior to that, it wasn't great either. When you killed a wolf, and Ryan killed a wolf, and Brent killed a bear, and Ryan killed a mountain lion.
Yep.
That all happened within like a 4 or 5 day window, just as the snow fell and melted the next day. Mm-hmm. And then it died again for a few days until those bears started popping out on the ridge that you guys went after.
Right.
But every time we were this close, so Mark had a bear that he almost killed, besides the one he missed in this video, which should have been killed.
Yeah.
It just he just was hesitating on his shots through some brush and openings and couldn't get set. It was like 2 hours he was close to being able to shoot this bear. Didn't get it. I got to within 30 yards of a giant black bear solo by myself, and I couldn't find the bear. The wind was good, and I sat down. And I'm like, I know he's close. I didn't know I was that close because when you go to the other side, bear stands up and he's 30 yards away and he crashes off into the trees. I was that close to getting a bear. Mark was that close to getting a bear. Mm-hmm. You were close.
Yeah. Because if that bear would have came down, the skin face bear, he was a poke. If he came down the ridge about 100 yards, he'd have been in the area, in the zone.
You both had the skin-faced bear, and you sat there and watched it all day, and you could have crossed and shot him.
Correct.
Plus the big bear up high. Like my vote was cross that day. Like quit lollygagging around, get your butts in gear and cross.
In our defense and in our experience too, and you and I have done the same thing. You cross over there, and then guess what? The dang thing disappears. But at the same time, like again, we've been watching them for a couple days. They've been hanging out, and it's like, man, it's getting greener down low. Mm-hmm. They're going to move their way down.
There was that bear that Brent and I staked out outside his den. Mm-hmm. And we sat there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then we went after the bear he shot. And not 20 minutes after we left, that bear came out and stood there within where we could have shot him from our teepees.
Less than 200 yards from where you were from your teepee.
I would have smoked a giant. Like every time that we were that close, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like 7 bears that in years past, it would have gone our way.
Yeah.
Like it just was like one little misstep, and a little luck is involved. We put ourselves in the right positions, but this is a tough season for us to swallow because after all that hard work and doing what we felt was all the right things, we came away with 1 bear and 2 wolves and a mountain lion. And don't get me wrong, the mountain lions, the wolf, all that was really cool. Brent getting his first bear, that was great. But dude, we got skunked on bears.
Like if everything would have turned out like years prior, we'd had the most epic season ever.
Yeah.
And it just a little bit of luck. I don't care how good skilled you are, you always need a little bit of luck.
The same thing is true on a mule deer hunt we did where we hunted 16 days, 4 tags, and we saw 2 deer, 3 deer, and Ryan saw like 5 when he split off from us, 5 total. So for the whole hunt for 16 days, and in years prior, we've killed some giant sweet bucks in these same areas.
Yes.
And so again, you'd walk away from that if it was your first year going, I'm never going back. That area sucks.
Correct.
It's no good for hunting. And in fact, it was probably more along the lines of a strange migration pattern. The weather was a bit off this year.
Yeah, the weather year.
Winter and the spring was weird. Mm-hmm. The spring was late, and then it was just all summer overnight.
Yep.
So a lot of things come into play, and it is easy to judge areas based on firsthand experience when you go in there, not realizing that it's actually better than you think because it's just a bad cycle of events and stuff. It's a bit different things happen.
Weather, you can't control that. Each year is going to be different.
And that hunt I did with Pedro and Brady and stuff a couple years back with Lampers, again, we shot 3 bears, myself, Brady, and Pedro. Ryan was this close many times to getting a bear on that trip, a couple of giants. But when he zigged, they zagged. Yep. And in the end, it was still tough. Like, the only bear Pedro got his crosshairs on was the only bear we saw.
Yeah, right.
In that next window. Mm-hmm. And Brady could have killed a giant, a nice big chocolate bear, which he should have. But when in Rome, he was trying to do like we do and get sub 300 or 400 yards, even though he could make a 600-yard shot all day long. It was 550.
We watched Brady shoot a mile and
over and over. And it's like he should have just shot the bear.
Yeah.
He should have just shot the bear and gone over and got it. Given his skill set, the rifle, he was carrying a 15-pound rifle or something like that. So he had the gear, the equipment, the whole setup. But that's all 2020. Hindsight's 2020, and this is how hunting goes. You learn from it. You're going to get your butt kicked sometimes. Some of it just needs to be a little bit of luck. Yeah. Persistence usually pays off, but it doesn't always. I don't know what to say. Like it could have.
Well, Ryan has said it. We've all said it, and it's like when you spend that many days and you work that hard,
it's not supposed to be like that.
It shouldn't be like this, And most of the time it does. It goes in our favor, but just like everybody else, we have hard times too.
It was pretty hot at first. Ryan shot a wolf, and you got a wolf. A few days later, Ryan happened on a mountain lion that came in. Brent got his bear, and we were starting to see bears pop out.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see like this hunt ramp up. And then Mark didn't get him, didn't get the one. I didn't get that one. Then there's the one in the den I didn't get. And then you guys crossed the river for those 2 chocolates, and you didn't get those. Mm-hmm. And then it died. It died for like 20 days. Yes. It was brutal.
And it was hot. It was stupid hot.
So anyway, I think hopefully as you watch us fail, you walk away if you with a perspective, I guess, and And we failed on a mule deer hunt. Now we redeemed ourselves on the next hunt. But that was an epic failure for me. For 16 days of hard grinding in some rugged country to see 3 deer total. I kept thinking, it's going to change. Something's going to happen. We're going to find this pocket. Never happened. It was a horrible season.
Yes.
And just goes to show that's why hunting is so fascinating. And what I want to know is, where were those deer? They didn't die. They didn't just all die.
I know.
Where did they migrate? What route did they take given the season was because it was such a warm winter for so long?
Right.
Then
we just didn't have any super cold,
didn't push them.
Late fall temperatures to really push them.
We've done some research.
Yep. Because snow's not what pushes those deer. Cold weather is what pushes deer to start moving and migrating and doing their thing. I mean, we've seen deer in 2.5 feet of snow, and they're still at high as possibly can be because it's not cold.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets cold, that cold snap, that's what sends those deer to their migration routes and stuff.
Yeah, it was a interesting season. We're getting ready to kick off our new season for the fall, and we're excited. We got a lot of bow hunts in the lineup. We got a few rifle hunts. We have some epic tags.
Yeah.
We think we're going to capture some amazing content. We're hoping that's the plan, and bring you guys some not only more content, but just some really good adventures. But it's on us. We got to perform. We got to deliver. We got to find those animals. We got to do the thing. So we're excited. Thank you for always supporting us. Right now, you get 20% off at Mountain Ops if you use the code GRITTY. There's some last minute stuff you could get there. Go Hunt Gear Shop, like I mentioned before. You got Stealthy Hunter, rifle covered glassing pads, and the SUPs. Got some great stuff going on with partners. Look at the links below. If you need any gear for the season, check it out. We did a recent podcast, teepee review. Hope you check that out. If you're interested in a teepee, or if you're not sure if you're interested in a teepee, check it out. It's pretty thorough, as I tend to dive in deep and I give my unabashed opinion on stuff. And but I think you'll find it quite informative and useful. Whether you're an experienced TP user or not, there might be a few tips and tricks in there that are new for you, but check it out. We're going to be gone, like I said, hunting for the next couple of months. In the meantime, what we're doing is we have pre-recorded, Brent and I, my brother, a new podcast series. We're calling it the Monster Books Podcast. And we're going to launch that. It'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a new episode, 3 days a week. We're going to dive into some of our favorite mountain man books, basically.
History
mountain man books that I think you'll find interesting. If you followed the Crow Killer series of podcasts or the River of Doubt that we did in the past, we're doing the same thing with a new book about Daniel Boone, another one about Kit Carson. So they're going to be cool. Check those out. Just the first 20 or so episodes, we're going to put on both the Monster Books podcast platform and also on the Gritty podcast platform. But after that, if you want to check out the show and you like it, it's going to be strictly over on the Monster Books platform. But we're hoping you really enjoy it. Brent's funny. I love these topics. Makes you think, makes you grateful for the country you're in and the time you live in today.
Makes you feel like a sissy.
It also makes you feel like you're an old soul in a new world if you relate to the book and you wish you were back in those times.
Yes.
So I think you'll enjoy it. So check it out. And we have partners over there helping us with that podcast. So if you want to support that show, do so. We really, really would appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. And good luck this season. And stay gritty.